Here it is, one of the infamous Peter Chow power supplies. These are typically what were found in like the old Midway games, like the Mortal Kombats and NBA Jams. What I'm going to talk about here is the 5-volt adjustment pot, and this is a very common thing in the Peter Chow. Most notably, you'll power the cabinet on and the game won't come up, and you're left wondering, what happened. And well, realistically, what it is this pot for the 5-volt adjustment is usually just dirty. And you consider these games have been in such wide circulation for so long. They've been in probably people's barns and stuff like that, so they're probably really filthy. And the fix for it, I don't know if I'll be able to produce it now, but I'm just gonna try turning this up, and then this thing doesn't want to budge. All right. Yeah, definitely do not try this at home. It will go down. Yeah, we'll turn it down. Well, sometimes what will happen is you'll move this adjustment a little bit and it'll just black out. And there's a pretty good reason for that. Inside a potentiometer, there's like a U-shaped surface, and that's like the actual resistor component to it. So if it's like a 5,000 ohm or 50,000 ohm potentiometer, that is the part that they're talking about. And then the actual pin that attaches to the knob that moves around on that surface is what determines what the value is. So like if it's a 50K volume pot out of Mortal Kombat, for instance, setting it to like 5 ohms is like not having any sound at all. And if you turn it all the way up to like 48 or 49,000 or something like that, it's full blast. But what happens is if that surface gets dirty and this wiper inside the knob is touching the surface and it's in a dirty spot where it can't read, then what happens is the power supply says, I don't know what the value is here. So it puts it in shutdown mode. And that's typically what happens with these Peter Chow units. That's not to say that these are bad power supplies. I don't think they're bad power supplies. I have a couple of them in my games they're all original and they still work pretty good. I just check voltages on this one versus this Power Pro that replaced it, and this one is probably the stronger of the two right now at this point in time. This one's got a lot of mileage on it. This one, I don't know. This one came out of my MK2. But the way to fix it is, if you have a shutdown condition, or with this one last night, I went to turn the voltage up, and the voltage went down, which I thought was kind of strange. But it's probably just really dirty. I already wiped this one, so I can't, demonstrate it right now. I'm not even going to demonstrate it on this, just because this is so hard to turn. But what you do is you just turn the knob all the way up, and then you go all the way down, and go all the way up again, and you just alternate back and forth between the two extremes, and then you try to return it to, as you can see, this is like a pretty neutral position right now. This one looks like it's a little bit below halfway. That's why I got this cool light bulb that I just tap into the the 5 volts in the ground. That puts a load on this power supply. Right now, the game's not even connected. So that's exclusively why I did that. Why I created that tool. You can actually make one of these yourself. This one came out of a redemption push button I just added a couple of wires to it. I put the male Molex pins on it. I made it so that you could plug it into one of the box style power supplies. You could just plug it right into the Molex plug, which makes those a little bit easier to maneuver. But that's pretty much that. What you're doing when you wipe the pot, though, is, the wiper is actually, like, going across the surface. It kind of, like, self-cleans it. And sometimes it just won't get it, and you have to use contact cleaner. I've never had to. Or if it was really bad, I wound up just replacing the power supply. I mean, you get one of these for, like, $25 or something like that. And this is one less headache you got to worry about. But this whole procedure, I completely omitted it from my power supply guide for some stupid reason. So I figured I'll just put together a video. I could probably describe it over video a lot easier. So I'll be adding this on there, and I'm gonna get back to diagnosing my issues over here. So y'all have a good one.